Okay, in this video, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison or overview of the Beretta model 81, which is my friend's on loan, and my Beretta 81 BB. Now, what has happened is these guns came in, and usually Classic Firearms, whenever they get a new shipment, they build it up, get it on YouTube, and show off what they got. They show you the crates as they arrive. I believe they got the Model 81s, okay? And I think AIM had a small group of them, but sold out almost instantly. And then AIM got 81 BBs, is what I bought from AIM. See, I did not know the variations of this pistol. In other words, just the base model, B, BB, F, FS. Okay, I didn't quite understand it. I'm not a Beretta collector. It's just I like 32s, and it's a neat little gun and was priced right. But what happened is when I see my friend Saturday afternoon, he showed me the pistol he got from Classic Firearms, which I thought was pretty good. And like I said, when we figured it all out, said and done, his pistol cost about $25 less than mine. But when I went to see him the other day, I ran into him and said, hey, look, I got my gun. I got the BB. And he is a subscriber. He does check into my channel. And he watched the video and he says, I don't have a BB. I have a Model 81. He goes, there's no double B on my pistol. And I said, really? So I showed him my gun, and he goes, well, I got mine out in the truck. So we were in the parking lot, and he showed me the pistol, and he said, well, I'll loan it to you. You can go ahead and make a video. So I'd like to give a big thanks to my friend Jim from American Legion Post 53 here in Greensboro, North Carolina, for loaning me his gun to make a video on it and kind of explain the difference in that. And then once I went back online, I did go to the websites and I did see where Classic Firearms, it is listed as a Model 81 with no suffix, and AIM is Model 81 BB. So there is a difference, and probably that's why the variance in the price also. Plus, the model my friend Jim got is an older gun. And what we'll do is I'm going to take a look side by side at the guns. And first we'll go over the markings, or the scroll as they call it, on the slide. There is a difference. They're marked different. I'll show you the obvious differences, and then I'll disassemble the guns and show you the little changes as we go. So just as a matter of fact, however these guns are laid out, Model 81, which is not my pistol, will be on the top, and underneath it will be the Model 81 BB. And we'll start taking a look at the two of them now. I can get in here close and check it out. You know. Okay, first we're going to do the blaringly obvious ones. We're going to start with the Model 81. And like they said, one of the changes with the B was the, if you notice, his back strap and front of the frame are smooth. Okay, here. Where I think with the B, it started, the front strap is grooved, and the back strap grooved. So that's the one difference between the models, like I mentioned in the other video. Now both of these guns have been cleared. So another thing they said, which is more of an internal deal, is something about the firing pin and the disconnect. And like I showed you in the other video, when you flip the safety up, I'll do it on this one. When you throw the safety up here, the trigger is kind of locked. Okay, if somehow when the safety goes on, the mechanism locks the trigger. where on my BB version, when they did the internal, they changed something with the firing pin and that. So when you throw the safety up, it disengages the trigger totally. That's totally disengaged. Where this one here kind of is locked. It moves a little. So the difference is something probably you can't see. I don't know. I'll take a look and see if I can see a difference once I disassemble the guns. But those are the two very obvious things right from the start. Is the little internal changes and the back straps. You can, visually see the difference there. Okay, now we'll start taking a look at the markings. All right, starting with the Model 81. If you look at the right side of the pistol, you will see where it says PB Model 81 patented, has a PB stamped on the frame, the proof marks and that down on the trigger guard. Now that's the way this 81 is. Now when you go to my 81 BB, it's a little different. You got just a giant PB in a circle patented on the slide. The PB is on the frame, but the serial number is on the frame here, and the proof marks. The import stamps are in the same place. But as you notice, the serial number is not there, and the gun is marked differently. That's what my friend said. So that's your difference in your scroll, as they call it, or your slide markings. We'll flip them over and check it out. Okay, on the other side, on the Model 81, it gives you Beretta caliber 7.65 made in Italy, and the serial number is on the opposite side of the frame and nothing else. And again, the caliber is up on the slide. Now here, it's kind of like they got just about the same, made in Italy, but they do not have the caliber here, and your Model 81 BB and caliber is marked down here on the frame itself. Where on the 81, that's where the serial number is. And another thing on this gun, I'm going to have to flip it over, on the 81 BB. Okay, I'm having a hard time getting my camera to focus, but as you see on the 81 BB, it says caliber 7.65 32 ACP on the barrel. That is not on the 81. Actually, there's nothing there. There's nothing in that spot. But the 81 BB is marked on the barrel with the caliber. Right there. I hope you can see it. Okay, I'm going to take them apart and we're going to start looking at some other features. Alright, first thing, which is kind of highly noticeable on these, is the serrations for grasping to cock the, pull the slide back, or cock the pistol. There's 14 on the Model 81, and part of one of the modifications was to extend this. There's like 20 there. So the surface has been increased to grasp from roughly about 1 inch to about almost 1.5 inches. So that's the one difference, which is also kind of visible. And also, like they mentioned when I said in the other video, this extractor mounted is longer. The one on the 81, that measures about 1.25 inches in length, where the extractor here is down to about 1 inch 100, about 100 thousandths difference. Not much, but if you look closely and have two side by side, you can notice it. Now the other differences are the sights. As we see on the 81, there are no white dots. You know, the sight is mounted there, it's a part of the slide. And so you have this sight here, which is a bit more simpler, and you could probably drift it for windage. Where the other sight on the BB looks a little bit bigger, has a white dot on it, and same with the sight on the front has a white dot. Now I'll hold them up together so you can see. Let me do this. There is a bit of a difference between the two of them. Also, if you notice on the BB, which is here where my finger is, it looks like there's something a little bit different with the firing pin. Another cutout or something on the BB where it's not on the 81. And also on the underside, keeping my reference, it's a little bit different. See, there's something about that firing pin safety and internal safety that's been modified. On the 81 it's not there, and there's something else on the BB. So there's some internal modifications to the firing pin in that on the two different models. Now when you look at the guns internally, with the slides off, trying to get this, there's really no difference until you look at this block here. This one here is solid, and here you have two different little components that have been machined in and added. So this all corresponds with the firing pin and the safety mechanism, safety features. These are the little design changes that they talk about, or the subtle changes. They add a little bit more to the safety mechanism and change some of the internal components. But it's hardly noticeable. I mean, they almost look identical from this view, other than noticing those few little extra added things that are not up in this block here. So that's about it for internal differences there in that view. And just when I thought I was done, I was putting the guns back together, and maybe you can get a better look. The guide rods are different. This guide rod has a flat head on it, and this one is a little bit different. Here is the model 81 guide rod, and the 81 BB. A little bit of a difference, as you could see. They both latch onto the barrel in the same way, and the barrel seems to be cut the same way. No differences in the machining on the slide, and like I said, other than the differences with this other piece here, which is on the BB, which has to do with that firing pin and safety mechanism. But there's another difference that I spotted. Okay, so there you have it, the model 81 BB. The 81 is currently available from Classic Firearms. This is what my friend Jim ordered, the standard grade without the hand select, and this is what he got. Got a little bit of wear on the trigger guard like me, but overall nice gun. He oiled it and all the little speckle and dirt and that come off, and it looks real nice. Okay, nice shape. And this is the model 81 BB, available from AIM Surplus. Okay. Again, standard grade. There is a select grade. standard grades. A little bit different gun, a little bit different price. This is an older, I'm assuming it's an older version, and they have a 5-digit serial number that has a prefix of a letter. Mine is E, I believe, and this one is D as the prefix. Anybody out there, because Jim was asking me if anyone has a listing of the serial numbers of these guns so we can kind of get a date or year that it was made. I'm not sure. I told them I don't know if such thing is available, but anyone out there that sees this, if they do know how we can check the serial numbers to get a date, that information would be appreciated. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned the difference between the two guns. A lot of talk about grading and that, but that is a standard grade from Classic Firearms without the hand select. I don't know if they still have them in stock. These guns are selling out pretty quick, but that's a look at both of them and what the two different models entail. Okay,